Good morning. First, I'd like to invite up all the young and the young at heart to come forward and get comfortable at home for a time for all ages. This morning, we are talking about how much we can learn from nature. And one story captured my heart this week that I wanted to share with you. It is called Pig and Crow. It's by Kay Chorao. The story begins with a very lonely pig. You see, Pig lived all alone in a house and felt very lonely about this. So one day, Pig decided to bake his favorite chocolate swirl fudge cake to help him feel better. And he raised the windowsill and he put the cake up on the windowsill to let it cool down. It smelled so good, in fact, that Crow smelled it up in the trees and flew down, perching right there on the windowsill next to that cake. I will trade you magic seeds for this cake. Well, Pig knew, like everyone, that Crow was kind of sly, better not to be trusted, and refused the trade. But Crow continued, "Very well, you will be lonely forever and ever. These seeds are very special magic seeds to cure loneliness, especially with pigs." Well, Pig took a hard look at those seeds and decided maybe it was worth a try. So Crow flew off with the cake, and Pig was left with these seeds to take care of. So he did what anyone does with seeds. He dug up the soil and weeded and planted the seeds and watered them. And sure enough, some magic did happen, and the seeds grew into sprouts and into a vine, and some green balls grew on the vine, and Pig watered, and the balls grew bigger and bigger, and they turned orange. And by the fall, Pig was harvesting beautiful, large pumpkins. Pig noticed that he wasn't so lonely while he was taking care of the pumpkins, but now that it was done, he thought, well, I've got pumpkins, but I'm still lonely. So he decided to bake a spicy walnut pumpkin pie, help him feel better. And he baked the pie and he put it up on the windowsill. You can guess what might have happened then. Crow smelled that pie and came flying down, perched right there. I have a magic worm. I would like to trade this magic worm for that pie. Well, Pig thought he wasn't in the mood to trade. He wasn't very happy about the last trade, but Crow had her way again and flew away with the pie, and Pig was left with this worm and decided to feed it these wild cherry leaves. Well, one day, there was no worm, but there was a brown sack hanging from one of the twigs. And as Pig watched, sack started to move, and out flew a beautiful butterfly. And Pig was so happy to have someone to play with that he baked his best apple raisin bread pudding. And he put that pudding up on the windowsill. And what happened? But the butterfly flew away out of the window. Oh, Pig was so sad. He had tears running down his cheeks. Oh, well, of course, that crow smelled that pudding and flew down to the windowsill with an egg in its mouth and said, "I would like to trade you this magic egg for that pudding." Well, at this point, Pig didn't really trust the crow so much, but didn't feel like he had that much to lose. And so the crow flew away with the pudding, and Pig was left with an egg to keep safe and warm. And one day, there was a tap, tap, and the egg cracked open, and there was a beautiful baby Canadian goose, a gosling. Pig was so happy. And it took hard work to take care of that gosling, but Pig had learned hard work taking care of the seeds. And it took patience, but Pig had learned patience taking care of the worm. And it took wisdom to find the moments of joy together with the gosling. But Pig had learned wisdom from the butterfly. And he and the gosling became best of friends. And Pig was never lonely again. And they even invited Crow to dinner. The end. So, my friends, I invite you to think about what you have learned from nature in your life in this past year. And think about what Pig learned. Hard work, patience, wisdom, and the joy of loving connection. See you soon.